Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the representative from Team Fractal. We consist of 3 people, namely Elwin, who was our back-end programmer. Then there's me, Juhi, who will be presenting the first part of our presentation to you today. And then there's Gokul, who will be presenting the second part of our presentation. So, what did we come together and do during this iCreate Mobility Challenge? Well, we came up with an app called the NUS Map with a double P. So you know, you get the wordplay there with the app. You get it? Okay. Yes, so what does this app basically do? Well, it does quite a few things. Firstly, it has key features. The key features are that it has a zoomable and very interactive map. There are a lot of apps around in the App Store of NUS, which they just show us a map. But this map is special because it's interactive. It interacts with the user, and it's also very intuitive for the user to use. Why is that? Well, it comes with a legend of 21 different amenities, all the possible amenities that an NUS student or an outsider would require or would find around NUS. What we did was we put these amenities in a legend such that the user can choose which amenities he wants to see marked out on the map itself. So he can choose just one amenity or like all of them or a few of them. So we give them the freedom of choosing as many amenities that they want to see displayed on the map so that they can find their way to the nearest map, the nearest amenity possible. Thirdly, there's a toggle feature for you to choose whichever amenity that you want. This comes with the legend part. So it basically comes like a checklist where the user can tick whichever amenities that he wants to be shown on the map, as well as there are also options that allow all the options to be checked or no options to be checked at all. And fourthly, it also shows a corresponding number of locations. What do I mean by that? For example, I'm looking for amenity ATM. So on the legend itself, you can see how many ATMs there are around NUS in total. So yeah, it gives you a rough location of how many of those things you can find around NUS itself. Okay, so what is the basic function of our map? It is basically an interactive feature to enable people around in NUS, studying in NUS, working in NUS, or who visit NUS to find their way around NUS better and to make it a more accessible place to visitors as well as students and staff alike. It is also a guide for the user to find his way around NUS. So like I said, it is a very intuitive app. The legend itself is not very hard to understand when it comes to functioning. My partner here, Gokul, will demonstrate to you and explain to you the interface as well as what is so different about our app and why you should consider it apart from the other map apps available in the App Store.
Good afternoon. I will probably start with how this app functions on our mobile phone. This is basically the NUS Kentridge campus map. Okay, sorry for the size. The size is not actually been portrayed according to size. Okay, this is generally the map, and if you click on the legend button, it will actually direct you to the legend, as she has said earlier. There are actually 21 categories showing various places such as ATM, hospital, restaurant, bus stop, toilets. The thing that we have added in this app is some of the places or some of the amenities are quite new to as compared to other apps. We will explain that in detail later. Okay. The feature that she was explaining about the buttons is all. So let's say if you click on all the characteristics will be clicked. If you click none, obviously the categories won't be clicked. And if you click invert, the thing opposite will actually happen. So I'll just show you. If you click on cafe, what happens? it will just direct you to where the cafe is being located. So that is very idiot-proof and very easy to use for the normal Android user. So that's how we have actually designed an interface also. Okay, our interface was developed to follow the Android UI pattern very closely. It was also made to, the map was also made to such a way that it can be zoomed in and out very easily. Okay, the technical terms are there, the zoom level 11 and zoom level 12 accordingly. Okay, navigation of map also should be easy for the Android users. That was our main consideration when we started this project. As you can see, you can move around the map very easily for the Android user. And also, we use this JavaScript library called Leaflet in order to display the map. Okay, as for the platform, I'll continue this. Okay, this is actually specifically designed for the Android platform. It was actually made to be used along the various Android versions and new Android versions, right starting from the Android version 1.6 to the latest one, which is 4.3, which is Jelly Bean, so that it can be used by all the users. Okay, we understand the fact that there's already been another app called Around NUS, which basically just portrays or just shows the Cambridge campus, okay, rather than not showing the legend or anything. So this is the basic difference between this app and our app that we have made. We will cover that. Yep. So as we have seen earlier, we have 21 categories which are variously different. Okay, many of the categories are still not yet known to many of the people here. Some examples I could give you is possibly hairdresser, security. These are these places that you are unlikely to find in the map around NUS. So that's the main difference that our app has. And also it's on-the-go application. You know, the information is updated regularly as compared to all the other apps. Very effective for the freshmen. As you know, freshman is new to NUS and also to the public visiting the campus. Very useful. Okay, and we'll also like to emphasize on the fact that this is original and we have not borrowed any ideas from the Around NUS app rather than following the map only. Okay, we have included the legend part together with the markers. We actually thought of designing another Find Me app, which was basically a thought of using the GPS, but we couldn't because of a few constraints, so we just like to mention that here. Thanks. Thanks for the presentation, and hopefully our app is effective and useful for the users. Thanks. Because of the screen size, not all the categories are displayed. Okay, actually there are 21, starting from, and also shows a number of locations of the amenity in NUS itself. Yeah. So let's say you've got restaurant, there are 3 locations, So if you click on the map, so it probably direct you to the place where you have selected. Obviously I have not selected anything, I'll just show you when you use the all function. So if you directly the map, it will show you all the functions. Actually, this question mark is supposed to be the icons of all the places displayed. For restaurant, there's a specific icon to it. But because of this phone probably there's due to some constraints, some glitches, it's not compatible with it. If you use another phone, you will show the icons properly and clearly. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Do you have a Dropbox installed in there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's really something to my account.
So
I don't know how you want to do it. You just want to dump me an email with the APK or something.
Yeah, we're using the APK.
APK is actually in the Dropbox folder, the APK file, so probably you could install it to it. And
yeah, I mean, it's logged into my Dropbox, so you want to log into yours or you want
I'll log into mine and reinstall it.
Do you know how to log on Dropbox? No.
Log out.
Okay, let's do it the more classic way. Let's go to Dropbox.com.
We actually have the screenshot of the icons.
In our video. So
In
would
our
you like
video,
to see
would
our
you like to
video?
see the video? Probably that would be easier rather than.
So, first question I have is how extensible is your map? So, can I take something else, some other campuses map and put it in there? How much effort do I have to do if I want to do that?
Currently, it only shows the Kentridge campus. For the other campuses, we're thinking of building on extensively for the Bukit Timah campus as well, and give like 3 options for the Bukit Timah campus, the Kentridge campus, and the Ultramar.
If you look at it, it actually covers quite a bit of distance. It's not only restrained to the NUS campus only. If you look at it, it covers up to Pasir Panjang and to Bukit Timah campus itself. So, due to this constraint, you can only see the NUS, but it will actually.
Yeah. So my question is, if you're going to take Cambridge campus out and put some in the Bukit Timah campus, for example, how much time would you take to develop that?
Probably it could be done in the same amount of time that we did for NUS.
Which is?
Which is around, probably it took around 2 days for that.
So, the second part is the legend.
Okay.
So is that fixed list, or is that if that list can grow, do you need to be an admin, or you can let the other people, basically other users to actually add on to the
basically, including a presentation is actually you can update information. So you can
But
add
currently it's just us.
Only the admin will be able to do it.
Only we can update it. Yeah.
Okay.
But the initial plan was to include a lot of categories itself. I mean, update information from the user part also.
Right. I didn't catch your last line in the presentation. You mentioned something about the LBS. My point here that I have is, I would like to know where I am right now vis-a-vis with all the legends. Is that something that the application does right now?
You're referring to the
my current location. So I see the map, I know where I am, and at the same time I know where are all those facilities.
I mean, for the GPS facility, right?
Yeah.
We actually tried that, but we couldn't implement it at the last moment, so we actually scraped that part off. If you actually look at the map itself, I will show you there's actually a Find Me option in it. Yep, here it is. So
They will auto focus. No, press again. Leave it for a while. Okay.
the Find Me option. The Find Me option actually basically answers the question, like wherever you are, you will actually
going to implement GPS tracking sort of
like
function.
gives you a GPS coordinates, and probably you can give you.
So I think that is very useful because
Yeah.
I was looking for ATM and I came yesterday, so I couldn't find. This would help. I think 2 general comments. I think when you have new labels or new things that you say like hairdresser, I think that would be it would be good to have a visual indicator that something is new, that people will want to check. Secondly is, I think if you want to, of course you can compete with the bigger map application, but if you just want to localize within the school, I think getting from one point to one point, from where you are to the facilities, which staircase to take, which is the shortest time, I think would be the sweet spot for your application. Because then, for a newbie, right, then you can extend to lecture theatres and things like that. What is the best way to get there, right? And things like that. So you kind of focus and narrow it down further, because you don't want to just compete with a general map application, and then it will be very useful for people. Right, I have to take this staircase, take to level 3 because that's the surface level, and then you can go to something else. I think that is my general comments in terms of where you can further expand on, and at the same time have more focus. Right, it's not going to be generic. Another thing that might be useful for you is really how do you make this extensible, right? You don't want to spend the same number of days every time when you add new location, right? Part of software engineering is to make sure that as you go along doing the same thing, you reduce the time and you reduce the effort. So that's where you make money, right? So that's another area. That's more the back end. So probably the first guy who's not here probably can think about it. But how do you make it extensible and add more campus? You want to add this, one day, done. So then it will make it more useful.
Yep. I've just some general comments. I think I think just now you show us some comparative apps that already existed for NUS.
Yeah.
I think for things like maps, people are okay with just small incremental improvements which you are doing. But to really convince people and make it really good, I think you need more data than just amenities. And so if you go to godare.sg, there's so much information that you can find there. When I came here, I want to find a public car park, I can't find. So car park, I think, is one thing that comes to the top of the mind for visitors at least. You have a lot of internal bus routes. I'm not sure if you got an API to get the buses location. Those will also help you. And I think about NUS is that some of the buildings, to get from this building to the building beside, you may need to go a lot of detours. And I think a lot of students are walking instead of driving. I think all the direction that you see over there is based on roads, right? And not internal. Yeah. So you may want to also map out. So those will be value added services that you can do. Lecture theatres, of course, that's super important. Seminar rooms, all this stuff, yeah. And also you must allow people to build on top of your platform. I think that's the beauty of things. Yeah. You won't need 2 days to change your map. I think you need like 20 minutes to change your map.
Okay.
Yeah, basically it's just a file.
Yeah.
And then you are just doing Zoom.
So since we are not the back-end people,
Correct.
we don't really know how much
Correct.
time.
Yeah,
it
we
will-
just did the
And then the amenities are just GPS coordinates. So if you take like 3 minutes to pump in, the bulk of your time will be spent on collecting the data. So I think I can copy this app tomorrow. Very easy. The value that you have here is that you will do the legwork and collect those data that people haven't collecting. And crowdsourcing will be something you can explore also.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to be the best app. I mean people will download this kind of app when they come to NUS. But you need to be the really nice UI and stuff like that.
And the back guy here. So in all honesty, what we have done here, I guess, okay, the amenities are hard coded in the system, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably, maybe if you want to differentiate, like what Ethan said, you could get some form of level in as well. So instead of walking on the roads, it could be that maybe you cut through certain LT, you find a small path that's in between buildings and so on. So I'm not sure we're going to get the map, but that will be one thing. Another thing that probably can be done would be maybe you use augmented reality as well. So instead of looking at the map and seeing turn left, turn right, which may be quite confusing at times, it could be that you put the camera forward, a more natural position, then you see, using a camera, you kind of show that place. You see left, you just kind of show a left arrow in 50 meters and something like that. When you reaches the road, you can highlight the road or something, so it's more clear.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it just looks like me, I mean, if you exclude amenities, just like me on Google Maps going from A to B, which isn't exactly fantastic there. Yeah.
But you probably can set up this app on the store. So
I know who wants your app. I can guarantee you it's somebody that wants your app. So it's just a matter of getting them there.
What?
Because already we actually have the list of amenities somewhere that people have access to. So I guess those guys want to work with you, put this together into a nicer package. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.